or unbelievably fast. So I'm gonna ask you guys again, how's everyone doing this morning? Awesome, well I definitely do appreciate you guys for having us. We're very honored. So what I'm gonna be talking about today is my story. So my name is Gabby. If you guys don't have me on Instagram, my little QR code is right there, so you can go ahead and follow me. So before Primerica, okay, you guys, so as soon as I graduated high school, I went straight to work. I didn't go to college, I didn't do anything like that, I went straight to work. So my very first job that I worked at was at Metro PCS. Okay, it was not the best job ever, but I was so excited. I was like, cool, I got a job, right? But that was one of the worst jobs that I ever had, and I only lasted about 3 weeks, honestly. The lady that my manager, she was really mean. She was really, really mean. It was my first sales job. I didn't know what sales jobs were before. However, growing up, my mom actually, she showed me entrepreneurship. When we were in high school, my mom was, she took me and my brother and we're like, you know what, we're gonna start having you guys sell chips, candies, so we started earning money. At the time, I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was fun. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be selling candy, I'm gonna be selling chips, right? And she would, she gave us a budget and she's like, this is how much you guys are gonna get. We would go sell it and then we'd go buy more. And we were just doing that and doing that and doing that, right? And then I quickly learned that you can't sell chocolate during the summertime. Terrible, terrible, terrible idea. Got my first charge back. But yeah, I worked at Metro PCS. It was, like I said, it was one of the worst jobs ever. That lady was just so mean. And, I'm reading a book right now, it's called Leadership, and, when people are in power, in an empowerment position, people can take advantage of that. So whenever this girl didn't like what I did, or I didn't know how to do something, she would send me outside to stand and, flip those signs on the street. So I was literally there just flipping those signs, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so terrible, I hate this, so I quit. And then I got my second job working at the mall. And there, I also realized I worked with a bunch of group of girls, and they were really, really, really mean. And I was like, dang, what is going on right now? All these girls are really mean. They don't want to help me, right? This was a job where I had to stand in front of the mall and, call people. Hey, do you want to try one out? Hey, do you want to try one out? Hey, we have everything half off, right? Those annoying people at the mall, right? And I'm very shy. Even doing this, I'm just like, oh my gosh, And those girls were just mean. They would stand there, and I had it at the tip of my mouth, right? Try one out, right? I just couldn't do it. It was so many people. And those girls would be like, why did they hire you? Do you even know how to talk? And I'm like, these girls, I said something else, but I was like, these girls. And then I was like, I made that choice. I made that choice that day. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get really good, and I'm going to be the #1 seller here. And that's exactly what I did. I would literally get there at 4 p.m. and I would literally outsell all the girls there. So I was like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get really good at what I'm doing. And while I was working there, I freelanced doing makeup. I worked at LA Fitness, right, taking care of the little kids, and then I switched to the sales job there. But meanwhile I was doing that, I actually ended up, going to a private beauty school because that's what I really, really wanted to do with my life at the time. I really wanted to pursue being a makeup artist. I wanted to have my own beauty brand, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So I got into a private beauty school, then I crashed my car. When I was supposed to finish, I was doing my final, for that, I crashed my car, couldn't finish it. And then I was really, really, really tired of working at the mall job, and I was like, I have to do something different. And my best friend at the time, she was like, we should get into medical school, right? It's high in demand, good benefits, good pay, right? So I was like, you know what, I know nothing about being in medical school, but let's try it, let's do that. Let's go enroll. And when I told my parents I was gonna get into school, into community college, they were like, do not do that. You are just gonna get yourself into debt. Just pursue your makeup industry, be an entrepreneur, do not get into school. And I'm like, you guys don't wanna see me do good? I'm just trying to do better, right? They're like, you're just gonna get yourself into debt. And that's exactly what I did. I did the whole 9-month program. And at the very last month, you guys have to do your hours to get, experience in the real world. And then I was like, do I really want to do this? I don't see myself waking up every single day, going to a doctor's office and dealing with patients. In that industry, I do believe that you have to be really, really passionate about it, right? And I'm like, I can't do this. So I ended up dropping out. My parents were like, I told you, you were just going to get yourself into debt. And I'm like, I know, Mom and Dad, So that was me before Primerica. But towards the end of me working at the mall job, I got introduced to Primerica, right? So when I got started, I submitted my IBA in 2017, and I did not get off to a fast start at all. I failed my exam 4 times, so I'm not sure if any of you guys have failed your exam, but it's normal. Don't quit, okay? Passed on my 5th time. And then I didn't do anything for 2 years at all, but I kept my license active. I literally did nothing. I would come to the meetings here and there, didn't like it, right? And then my sister, actually I have a family business, right? My sister ended up quitting her job. She was doing the business, right? And then she started talking really big, like, I'm gonna, buy this car, I'm gonna live here, I'm gonna do that. And I wanted to do nothing with Primerica. I was like, no, I'm good. But when I seen her quit her job, I was like, what do you do? Like, what do you do in Primerica? Like, I just don't understand. And she's like, just come on a ride along with me, because back then we used to do everything in person. So I was like, okay, cool. I remember it was Monday. And she was like, we went to the meeting, we went to LA, she did like 2 in-person appointments, then in the evening she closed like 3 KTs, and I'm like, and she's like, yeah, I made like $3,000, and I'm like, what? I used to make $1,200 a month working at the perfume store. So I'm like, this is what you do? Like, she's dressing nice, she wakes up, like the time that she, obviously before the meetings, right, she dresses really nice, she does what she wants, and I'm like, I could do this. So that day I decided to actually do Primerica. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go, fight for my promotion. And I missed my promotion 6 months straight. And if you guys have a family business, the number one thing that my sister said, she's like, I'm going to train you, but I'm not going to give you any recruits, and I will not give you any policies. So then I don't have to take credit for your failure, and I don't have to take credit for your success. So, I literally watched my sister like promote different girls each month, and I would like be so mad at her, like, just give me a recruit. I kept missing my promotion because of 2 recruits. I'm like, just give me a recruit, just give me a recruit. She's like, nope, I'm not going to. That's your job. I'm not going to. That's I'm like, you're your sister, like, you're promoting all these girls, you don't want to see me win. She's like, nope, I'm not going to give it to you. And she did it. If you guys know my sister, she's a savage. She was like, I'm not going to do it. And then finally, in February 23rd, 2019, I got my district leader promotion. Fast forward to May, I got my division promotion, May 5th, 2019, and then I got regional leader December 26th of 2019, and I stayed there. I literally stayed there for a while. And then, it's super important who you surround yourself with, you guys. Because during that time that I had joined the business initially, why didn't I do anything? I was so caught up with what people were saying at my job. Those girls, when I said like, oh, I'm gonna do Primerica, right? Whenever you guys get introduced to Primerica, you're super excited, right? Like, you want to tell the whole entire world, right? And then you get shot down. And that's exactly what these girls did. They're like, you're not gonna do anything. Those people don't make no money. You're gonna waste your time. And then I started believing them. Like, I really cared about what they said. But I kept going to the meetings. That's why it's super important that you guys keep going to these meetings, because you may hear something that may change your whole entire life. And that day, Gary Cornegay, he said, if you guys are not, if the people that you're listening to are not making the money that you want to make, living the life that you want to live, or driving the cars that you guys want to drive, why are you listening to them? Amen. And when he said that, it was like, I'm like, oh my God, he's talking to me, right? Like, there's more people in the room, but I was like, he's talking to me. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. And that's when I got my promotion. So the moment you decide, it doesn't matter how long you guys have been in this business, the moment you guys decide to do something, that's exactly when your business will change. Doesn't matter. And I was always a hard worker, back then, it was in-person appointments, you guys. We were driving from Rancho to LA, from LA to San Diego, from San Diego to Irvine. We were driving all day, right? So I was always a hard worker. And then I started like really getting the hang of it. Top district, top division, started winning #1. And I always averaged 15 to 25,000. This was base shop, right? This was before I got really, really good, right? So I always had numbers before I met Edouard. And then we went to convention, and then I met the love of my life. So this was our very, very, very first picture in July 2022. Okay? So then, actually this is when we got ownership, this video. I'm not sure you guys can hear it. There's no audio? Before I actually play. So, when I got with Edouard, okay? When I got with Edouard, obviously, he's always been a stud, right? So he's always ran a big business and everything, right? So his rolling 12 was over 200,000 already. Okay, so imagine me, regional leader, almost getting my 50K watch, getting with him. Okay, he had just got promoted to SVP. So I told him, because everybody, when we got together, everybody was peer pressuring him. He does what he wants, right? But everyone was telling him, like, you know, you should get Gabby her ring, like, it's not right that you have your ring and she doesn't have a ring. And I told him, like, babe, I do not want you to get me the ring. Like, I don't. I was like, you're at 200,000, so when we get to 300,000, that's when I want you to give me my ring. And he was like, okay, cool. So we got together in July. And then in April 2023, that's when we got ownership. And this is the video where we got ownership. We got it. We get it done. And then in July 2023, we hit 400,000, so we jumped 2 diamonds in 2 months. And then the best thing of my whole entire life happened. We had our first baby boy. So from 2023 to 2024, we actually had a lot of adversity hit us. You know, Edward's gonna talk about it, you know, with his family, right? I got pregnant, we ended up having our baby, right? We moved different places, we were in the verge of moving to Arizona, we had a bunch of stuff going on. But this, honestly, this is the best thing ever, so if you guys don't have a Y, you know, you guys could definitely make a Y, so this is our but then, April 2024, we hit 500,000, which was this year. And then at the end of this month, we will be clicking over our 600,000. Partnership here. Okay, you guys don't want to just be arm candy. So whoever's the lead code, you know, when I got with Edward, I told him I don't want to be arm candy. He gave me the option when I moved to Tampa. He's like, babe, if you want, you can just stay home. And I looked at him and I'm like, babe, but I already know how. I was like, what am I going to do at home? There is a lot to do at home, but I was like, what am I going to do at home? I'm already used to, you know, hiring people, doing orientations, KT, like prospecting, you know, like I'm already used to that. So why would I like stop that? He's like, okay, I just want to give you the option if you want to do that. So I was like, no, absolutely not. We're not going to do that. So when we started working together, you know, we obviously started making money right away. Most people, when they would get with somebody who has money, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna blow their money, right? Like, oh, buy me this, oh, buy me that, do this, do that, right? Let's go on trips and stuff like that. I was not like that. So when we made our first 25,000, he gifted me his very first Rolex. That was my 25K. Our 50K actually, not 25. It was our 50K. And he always gave me personal goals, right? Mine was obviously, you know, my 100K ring, which we hit our ownership. I was gonna get my ring. And then we were doing our vision board, and he knew that I really wanted a matte black G-Wagon. Like that was like, it's been always on my vision boards. And he told me like, babe, when we get to 500,000, I'll get you your matte black G-Wagon. And guess what we did? That's exactly what we did, you know? But if you guys are giving your partners goals, you guys wanna make sure that you deliver on them. You don't want to just say like, oh, I'm going to do this if you do this. Everything that Edward said he was going to do, and everything that I said I was going to do with him, we did. And he delivered and I delivered. So it's not just if you're in a partnership, you deliver, do you deliver? No, it's not like that. You guys both have to put in. You know? They're very important. So like you guys know, we are on our $1 million run. Everyone in our hierarchy is very sold out to it. Since we announced it 3 months ago that this is exactly what we're gonna do, you know, we show our team what to do. We're not somebody, you know, that we're not just a couple where we're telling people do this, do that, do this, do that. You know, we're showing our team what to do. You know, we're at the office early, we're leaving really late. Like I have an 8-month-old baby, right? Like I want to be at home with him all day, right? But that's not the case because we have really big goals and dreams. And not only that, we have a lot of people on our team that they're not where they need to be at. You know, so if we're going home early and we're not doing what we need to do, that's not gonna inspire anybody. You know, and if you guys are doing that, if you guys are making money and you guys are going home early, you're not doing the things that you need to do, like when your people make a little money, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go home early. They're not gonna keep fighting, right? So since we've announced our $1 million run, we've had 3 watch earners, we've had a ring earner, we had the brothers jump a diamond. They're about to jump another diamond. We're about to jump another diamond. So what does that mean, you guys? The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. We're on fire right now, you guys. We're so excited. We hold our team accountable. We don't let anybody go home without setting 5 to 6 appointments. We're, but not only are we telling them, us too, like we don't go home unless we have appointments set. Right? We're doing accountability calls late night, right? Edward does them with the team. He makes sure we do the jar. So if you guys don't know what the jar is, what is that? You have to get a recruit, do 3 presentations, get 10 numbers, a license. So those are the main ones that we focus on. But you don't want to be somebody who just does one of those things. You want to do a lot of those things. So we have people on our team that are putting like 5 papers on their jar, 6 papers in the jar. And guess what? If you don't do something, guess what? You guys don't, it's not like, oh, you guys don't do anything for the day. You guys have to take papers out. So we're very excited. Like I said, I'm very big on partnership. Whenever I'm doing appointments, right, you guys have to be super, super, super serious. Even before I had a baby, I'm telling people like, hey, like if you don't want to do this, like what are we doing here? Like you are sitting in front of me because you want to make money, and now you're here not trying to do the things to make money. Like I'm not here to waste my time. And now that I have a baby, especially when I'm sitting down with moms, I'm like, you have a baby, I have a baby, right? If you're not doing anything and I'm not helping you make money, we're just wasting time, and I'm not doing that. So we gotta get results, you guys, and you guys wanna make sure that you're not super technical. You guys wanna have fun, have personality. That's what I was telling the guys yesterday, when I do my orientation, like, you don't wanna be like so ta-ta to the T, like, oh my gosh, financial services, like, no. People like excitement, people like energy. I talk very, very fast, right? But I'm very excited. Like when I sit down with people, they're gonna set appointments, right? They're gonna be excited. Like they probably won't know what I'm talking about, but they know like this girl is excited. I don't know what she's doing, where she's going, but I want to follow. So it's like don't think that you have to be so perfect or know everything. You guys just be excited. Why? Because the future is bright, and if you guys know where you're going, like people are gonna want to follow. But you guys have to make sure that you have really big goals so people can follow that. So I know I have 10 minutes left, but that is my talk. So I'm gonna go ahead and do. Babe, do I call you back, or who do I call? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and call Shaq back up. But that is my talk.